I don't know why they're only 160 bucks, to be honest with you. You know, they could probably sell these things for 260 and sell them. That's my opinion. They sound that good. If you're comparing these, I'm gonna just compare them to the 720s because I already think that the 720s sound better than the Astros. And there's a like 2-day comparison I did. I was rambling on about them, so you can kind of watch that if you got a high tolerance for just boredom, I guess. But anyways, these sound much better than the 720s when you're talking about just frequency. The highs sound better, the mids sound better, the bass sounds the same. These things sound different than the 720s. I'm sure everyone knows that these actually have 4 speakers in each cup, and they're not small speakers like I thought. I'm thinking they're gonna have to cram like really small, like almost like iPod size headphones drivers in these things. No, there's 4 in each side, and there's 3 30mm and 1 40mm driver in each side. And what that means is a 30mm driver, for those that don't know, is the same size they put in most headphones. It's the same size that they use in, say, the Turtle Beach X31s. And the X41s use a 40mm driver. And I would imagine that the Astros probably use just, a 40mm on each side. So these have 40mm on each side, which acts as the sub, 1 in each ear, and then 3 30mm drivers in each side. So it's like packing, it's crazy. So definitely don't think that, they just put, 3 small dinky little tinny sounding drivers in each ear. No. Each driver is doing, well, the center driver is doing like 130 hertz to 20,000 or whatever, and the fronts and rears do your average 20 to 20,000 hertz, and that's no joke. And I think it's like 120 decibel or something, 116, something like that. And then the 40mm driver acts as the sub, and that does like 20 to 300. So each driver, they say they're precision drivers, and I think you hear that and you're like, well, what's that mean? I mean, why? It's just a fancy word that they just put on there to sell them. No, that's basically saying that there's a crossover on these things, and each driver is only getting a certain amount of information, a certain frequency, so you're not just like completely just throwing every single frequency into every single channel, because that's just not how a 5.1 system works. Your center channel isn't going to produce really just from mid to like your highs. Your fronts are going to drop a little bit lower, and you might get down to 20, or really you're only going to get maybe down to 100 hertz from your fronts, and then the rest is going to be fed to your subwoofer. So anyways, that's kind of what these are doing. Actually, it's exactly what these are doing, and it does a good job of that. That's my dog growling at the plant. But anyways, these, like I said, these sound really good. And as far as the surround sound goes with these, it's unbelievable. If you know what, if somebody's say 12 o'clock is you looking straight ahead, okay? If somebody's like on the right side of you, say at 3 o'clock, they are only going to be coming through the right side of your headset. Not a little bit to the front or a little bit to the back. If they're right at your 3, they are only coming through that right side. Now if you can see them in your screen a little bit, say they're at like 2 o'clock, then you're going to hear them a little bit in the front channel and the right side. And same goes for the rear. And that is, once you hear that, it's that right there is worth the $160 that you'll pay for these if you pay full price. And that is just amazing. I mean, these things do an excellent job of being able to focus like sound right exactly where it is. So that's amazing. You know, some people say it's a little distracting because it's so precision that if there's a lot of stuff going on around you, you just, you know, it just distracts you almost. Um, you know what? That may be true, but once you get used to that, which takes 10 minutes maybe, then it's not a big deal at all. Um, but yeah, so comparing the surround sound and technology that's in these bad boys, the Pros, to say an Astro set or the 720 set is like it's you can't compare them. I mean, this is just a way better technology. It's you know, these are a complete league of their own when you compare these to the 720s as far as surround sound and pinpointing where someone is. It's it's amazing. I mean, I have a surround sound mic that I was thinking about hooking, just putting these on the mic, but it's not going to work because the drivers are just so close together that I don't think it would pick it up. What I did do, I listened to my favorite movie, Evil Dead, with this set on. I did the same with the Astros and the 720s, and I thought they sounded good. This Astro is definitely no good for anything except 4 games. The Tritton 720s were decent. They were really good for listening to movies. It was a really warm sound. And this, you know, the simulated surround sound was it was good enough. It was good enough. But once you put these on, you know, it's like it sounds like you're 5.1 if you have a, you know, a good 5.1 setup at your house. So these things for movies and music, just they rock. I love these things. I was able to. I was just going to test the movie. I ended up watching the whole movie all the way through, just because they just sound great. There is, you know, as with most like Triton sets, there's, you know, that background hiss that just kind of is there. You know what? I'm used to it. It's just, you can't, I mean, what can you do about it? It's there, you just have to live with it. So I mean, it's not a huge problem. I mean, you're cranking it up so loud anyways that you can't hear any of that stuff. And you shouldn't really focus on it anyways. But, you know, it's there. It's probably the same amount as the 720s. So, like I said, I already got used to it. So, yeah, I'm actually going to stop this and do a part 2 and check my hard drive space.